What's up, YouTube? Tops85401 here, and I'm live tonight. I figured I'd go live. I'm doing a video response for Dave, aka Bluejacket 66, and he wants to know, how did we get started in this hobby of card collecting? Who influenced us? How did we get started? And he also asked a question. You know, he's going to be at the 2019 National in Chicago, and he wants to know, are we going to get together, or are we all going to be able to meet up? And Dave, I can tell you that this is going to happen organically. You don't have to make any big plans or anything like that ahead of time. Everything is going to happen. Everybody gets together. This community is unbelievable, and you're going to have a blast. Guarantee you, every night, the socializing portion of the YouTube community for the National is just as big as the cards and the show itself. I mean, literally, it's 50-50. They go hand in hand. So don't worry about it. You'll be taken care of. People are going to hang out with you. People are going to want to talk to you. Your collection is unbelievable. I remember the first video you ever posted. You came out of the gate running with just an unbelievable collection. So now I'm going to get started on telling you guys a story of how I got started collecting. And I've been thinking about this, and it goes way, way, way back when I was 5 years old, 4 years old, something like that. And my grandma used to watch me all the time. She was kind of like a babysitter for me. And I remember going to my grandma's house, and she had a cabinet. And in the cabinet, there were comic books. There was like a checkerboard with checker pieces about this big, and the board was like made out of this big piece of plastic. And there was a box of baseball cards. And I remember in that box of baseball cards, they were all wrapped up in rubber bands and maybe stacks of 100. And that's what I always wanted to look at. I wanted to look at my baseball cards. And my grandma, I remember, she would always tell me, these things are old. Be careful with them. Don't be rough with them. So my grandma kind of had like she kind of knew, like, I don't know how she knew. She didn't throw my dad's collection away. And she knew that you want to treat him with respect because these things are old. So that's what got me started. And I remember as a little kid sitting on the floor and opening up that box of cards and taking the rubber bands off the cards and just sitting on the floor and looking at them and just being completely enamored by the old baseball cards. It was awesome. And then about the same time, I was playing a lot of wiffle ball with my dad, and he'd always ask me, "Hey Nate, who are you? Who are you? Let's hit. Let's play wiffle ball. Who are you?" And I'd tell my dad, "I'm Reggie Jackson. I'm Reggie Jackson." So this is probably around 1978, 77, 78. I was always Reggie Jackson. And I remember my dad would pitch to me, and I was swinging the bat like this. I mean, I wasn't even old enough to know that you're supposed to swing like this. I was chopping wood. And so it was just a lot of fun. And then, of course, there was a stop and go about 2 blocks away. So we'd walk to the stop and go when I was at my grandma's, and my dad would buy me a couple of packs of baseball cards. And this is back in 78. And that kind of lasted for about a year. And then I didn't really collect cards from 1978. I just never got interested in them. I think I started collecting Star Wars cards and Battlestar Galactica cards and stuff like that. And then in 1983, I was old enough to take Bart to the A's Oakland Coliseum and watch the A's. So I started to watch a lot of A's baseball. And of course, I had an older friend that I used to take Bart with, go to the Oakland Coliseum. I was probably in 3rd grade. Maybe it was 82 or 81. I can't remember. But anyways, and I had a friend that was about 2 or 3 years older than me. And we go to the Oakland Coliseum, and then one day, I was at his house, and he had like just these giant shoe boxes full of baseball cards. And I was like, dude, let me look at those. And of course, I'm looking for Ricky Henderson's or anything A's. So in 83, I started buying packs. And so from 1983 through 1990, I spent every penny that I ever got on baseball cards. And then I was a senior in high school in '91, and I completely stopped buying packs in 1991. And I know that because I don't have any complete sets in 1991 through, well anyways, I just don't have any complete sets. But then, and of course I started to party, you know, getting older. And then in 1996, I started to kind of dabble back into card collecting, and by the time 1997 rolled around, really getting into it, and then 98 with the home run chase, it was on, and it hasn't stopped. So I'm just going to show off some of the cards from my dad's childhood collection. I always love telling this story, and people that follow my channel, they know that I completed the 1959 top set, and when I ended up inheriting my dad's collection, he always wanted me to have it, and he had approximately 300 of the 572 cards for the 59 set. And so I finished a set after my dad passed away, and I inherited his cards. I completed the 1959 set. So that was just kind of to honor my dad and my grandma, the two people that really got me started. And then my older friend, his name, I'll never forget him, my older friend who got me started in '83, his name was David. And yeah, I don't know, we did everything baseball cards, man. It was just all about that. So that is how I got started in collecting. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I decided to do this live because I don't feel like taking an hour or 2 hours to upload the video. I am gonna hop off here, but I might hop on live later just to hang out with you guys. But that's it. So I will put a link down below for this video. Everybody that is not subscribed to Bluejacket 66, you got to check that channel out. His collection, unbelievable. And he's got all the mainstream vintage, all the oddball vintage, all the food issues, beverage issues, just an unbelievable collection. Absolutely fascinating. And yeah, anyways guys, that's it for this video response for Bluejacket 66. And until next time, as always guys, and this was the card I always used to look for when I was back in 1978 when I first started looking at cards. So you guys know my outro. Happy collecting.